Now, my good friends, recall that I promised to give you an update on the ADC case, and unfortunately, I've just been so busy, so I couldn't give you that update on the day the Federal High Court heard the matter and gave a ruling. I just saw some people rejoicing and jubilating that ADC has been disenfranchised, and this applies to everyone looking to contest in the 2027 elections through that political party as a result of the decision of the court on Friday when the matter was heard at the Federal High Court, just as the Supreme Court directed. Now, as much as I am non-partisan, don't forget I keep on saying this. I said that in my very first video when I talked about ADC, and even when P2B defected, I still mentioned the fact that I'm non-partisan in this election, in as much as I have my candidate. From my videos, you would obviously know my candidate. It doesn't mean that I'm affiliated to any political party. However, it will not prevent me from actually putting it out there and making everyone aware, and preventing people from going around with the wrong narrative regarding that, especially regarding the ruling of the Federal High Court on Friday concerning ADC's case. Now, on Friday, the matter was heard just as the Supreme Court directed, but because they are yet to get the CTC of the judgment of the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court directed them to go back to the trial court, which is the Federal High Court, and also directed that the matter be heard expeditiously. That judgment, the CTC, certified true copy of that judgment, is not yet obtained and tendered before the Federal High Court. That is one. The matter could not go on. And then secondly, the plaintiff, that's Mr. Nafiu Bala, brought an application through his legal practitioner directing that the matter be transferred from the present court to the Chief Judge's court, because he believes that the matter will be heard expeditiously in that court. Okay, and then because of these reasons, the courts adjourned the matter sine die. When a matter is adjourned sine die, it means that that matter is adjourned indefinitely. It means that matter is adjourned there was no date when it is adjourned, and that is because the court cannot determine when the CTC of the judgment of the Supreme Court will be obtained. I believe that when that is obtained, the court can now give dates for hearing, and on that day, the court will now determine whether the matter will be transferred back to the registry to be reassigned to the Chief Judge's court, or if the matter would now continue in his court. I'm sure by now in my previous video I've explained what the background of this case is all about. I'm not here to talk about the background, but I noticed that a lot of people are all over the place carrying the narrative that ADC has been disenfranchised, and that they will not be contesting in the forthcoming elections, because today is the day that INEC gave all political parties to submit their registers. And as a result of this, I cannot tell whether ADC has submitted their register before now or not. But one thing I know for sure was that because the Supreme Court actually nullified the order of the Court of Appeal, don't forget that parties should maintain status quo. And based on that, INEC included ADC back into the ballots for the 2027 elections. Now, I cannot tell whether this deadline, not meeting with the deadline, would actually disenfranchise ADC from contesting in the forthcoming elections. But one thing is for sure, let us not conclude yet that ADC is disenfranchised until we are sure that this deadline that INEC gave would actually disenfranchise ADC, and that ADC's name will now be removed. ADC's name that was included will now be removed. Two things are involved. Is either INEC would give an extension of time for more political parties to submit their registers, or the fact that INEC had already included ADC in the ballot immediately after the Supreme Court judgment suffices to entitle the political party to contest in the elections. But so far so good. I don't believe that ADC has been disenfranchised. Please let us stop carrying out the wrong narrative. ADC may not be disenfranchised, because I believe that INEC understands the right of everyone to vote and be voted for. And then before I wrap up this video, I want to once again congratulate Mr. Peter Obi for his well-considered decision to leave ADC. Remember, if you can recall, that Peter Obi just defected from ADC to NDC, and you can now see and agree with me now that that decision is just the best, because it does appear as though ADC is standing on the line. But I want to believe that the mere fact, that's if ADC has not met, the requirement to submit their registers, the mere fact that their matter is adjourned sine die. That's what I want to point out. The fact that the matter is adjourned sine die does not mean that that matter is already concluded and they are totally disenfranchised. Please, let's stop carrying out the wrong narratives. And I just believe that I've cleared the air, and I hope that this video is helpful. Please don't forget to share this video and give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to smash the subscribe button. Thank you very much for having me, and enjoy the rest of your day.